Before the term fake news was common, the media has been publishing unsubstantiated and poorly researched news that has ultimately made the world dumber. In this segment called Aviation Fake News, we're going to break down some of these news stories. Our second story, Denver UFO.
We're revealing a mile-high mystery in the Denver sky, a strange object caught on camera flying over the city, and nobody can explain what it is. Whether you believe in UFOs or not, you'll want to see this video. Fox 31 Denver investigative reporter Heidi Hemmett is here to explain. Heidi?
Well, when I first saw this video, I have to admit I was skeptical. One of our viewers first alerted us to this unusual object that appears to launch and land in the metro area. Tonight, an aviation expert tells us it's unlike anything he has ever seen. It's not a bird.
Get going up. Up and up.
It's not a plane.
Here it's flipping around.
Even this aviation expert is mystified.
I can't identify it.
We first learned about these strange sightings when this metro area man, who does not want to be identified, brought us his home video.
You're going to see a little burst of fire right there, kind of a thruster.
He captured the images on his digital camera from a hilltop in Federal Heights, looking south towards downtown Denver.
Mile High is right about here.
He says the flying objects appear around noon or 1 p.m. at least a couple of times a week.
You're going to see it come in from the top, do a little loopy-doop.
The strangest part is they are flying too fast to see with the naked eye. This is the video in real time.
Poof, see it? That was it.
But if you slow it down frame by frame, it's there. We altered the color contrast to help you see it. Here's another one in real time. This is what it looks like slowed down. We wanted to verify that the video we saw was legit, so our photojournalist came out here with his camera. He set up in the same spot on 84th and Federal, and he shot video from just before noon until just after 1. And when we slowed down our photographer's video, we saw this flying object.
I would consider myself an expert.
Aviation expert Steve Cowell is a former commercial pilot, instructor, and FAA accident prevention counselor.
It's very strange.
He thought he would have a logical explanation until he watched the video.
That is not an airplane. That is not a helicopter. Those are not birds. I can't identify it.
Cowell told us he knows of no aircraft that flies as fast.
Because of the speed of the object, most people, I think, would miss it.
Cowell did say there is one other possibility.
Perhaps there's some sort of debris that's being raised up by some of the atmospheric winds.
But in his professional opinion,
as it fits the definition, it's an unidentified flying object.
Okay, I can't take this anymore. Let's see what we got so far. First of all, I don't know why the media insists on painting themselves into an intellectual corner.
Nobody can explain what it is.
Really? Nobody? You only talked to one person.
It's not a bird. It's not a plane.
Are you sure? You only talked to one pilot, but not a single entomologist, ornithologist, bird watcher, or zookeeper even?
The strangest part is they are flying too fast to see with the naked eye.
They clearly are not too fast to see with the naked eye. You're getting them on your camera in real time. I think our anonymous sleeveless cameraman needs to have his glasses checked or maybe walk down the hill so they can see the objects better. But at least they didn't bother the FAA and the military with this non-story.
The FAA tracks
for
all
fuck's
air
sake.
traffic in Colorado and across the country. The FAA sent us a statement saying, "We've checked with air traffic control and no one has had any reports of the activity you describe, nor have any of our employees observed anything of this nature either visually or on their radar displays." The North American Aerospace Defense Command is located in Colorado Springs. It keeps an eye on the skies in case of an air attack against the U.S. NORAD sent us this statement. Our command center reviewed their records and they did not have any noted air activity in the Denver area during the times you indicated.
Do you actually think NORAD is tracking small objects in the treetops of the Denver suburbs?
There's the smokestack.
The man who first brought this to our attention believes the UFOs are launching and landing near 56th and Clay in Denver. A map shows only homes in the area.
Now we get to the main problem with this story, which is determining the scale of what we are looking at in the video, which is causing an illusion to the viewers. Looking at Google Maps, I could determine that the reporter was standing in front of 2701 84th Avenue in Westminster, Colorado, and she is looking south towards downtown. Cobblestone Park is about 700 feet south of her position, and the apartment complex is about 500 to 600 feet southwest. This shot gives us a lot of clues to figure out the illusion they are looking at. This building is the AT&T Tower at 5375 Zuni Street in Denver, which is about 4 miles away, which is in the vicinity of their estimated launch area at 56 and Clay. We can see a bird flying right to left in the frame with enough clarity to see its wings flapping. This looks like a crow or maybe a hawk, I can't tell for sure, but at least it gives us a scale to compare these mystery objects. The other issue with this shot is the camera used to record it. It's a consumer-grade Sony digital camera with a 30x zoom lens. It has a CMOS processor that is prone to more noise than more sophisticated cameras, and is susceptible to rolling shutter effects, which is why we see two images of the bird and object in some frames when there's actually only one object. And finally, we see the object moving vertically in the frame. The guy that filmed this thinks the mystery object is 3 to 4 miles away. And if that is the case, then comparing the mystery object to the AT&T Tower, he thinks the objects are the size of a motorcycle or a small car. But they are actually small objects that are much closer to the camera. We can see the distant objects are in pretty good focus. That means these UFOs are inside the focal point of the camera's lens, which makes them blurry and hard to identify in the video. But despite what the media and their one expert says, these mystery objects' flight patterns are familiar and their location is predictable, and it is quite obvious what they are. Here is Georgios Tsoukalos from Ancient Aliens to explain what he thinks we're looking at.
The gods descended from the sky in flying vehicles.
No. Any other ideas?
Visitation by technologically advanced space travelers.
What is wrong with you? These are hummingbirds. They're hummingbirds. What the camera caught was hummingbirds flying at the far edge of the field or at the apartments. A hummingbird at 500 to 700 feet away would be a challenge to see with the naked eye, but would be caught on the camera that was zoomed in.
Powell told us he knows of no aircraft that flies as fast.
They think their UFO is 5 miles away, and if it was, then an object moving that quickly across the horizon would be going very fast. But the hummingbirds are just a few hundred feet away, which means they are not going as fast as they think they are.
I see a little burst of fire right there, kind of a thruster.
The alleged burst of fire that the anonymous sleeveless cameraman referred to was a brief shimmer of reflected sunlight off the hummingbird's notoriously iridescent plumage. Hummingbirds are often thought of as sweet, hovering, fairy-like creatures, but they are actually territorial little jerks. They aggressively fend off intruders in their feeding grounds and can fly up to 30 miles an hour, which is some of the flight patterns that we saw. And the strange vertical flight profiles that were recorded is the courtship display of the Anna's hummingbird. When a male Anna's hummingbird finds a female, he tries to impress her by flying straight up over 100 feet into the air, then diving straight down, reaching speeds of 60 miles an hour. Then he pulls up right beside the female, pulling up to 9 Gs as he spreads his tail feathers. The wind flowing through his tail feathers makes a chirping noise that lets the female know he is a suitable mate. All this could have been easily explained if Fox 31 actually made a concerted effort to find some real experts to explain what was captured on video. But then they wouldn't have had a story. Thanks, media, for making us all dumber.